Good evening. My name is Jim. Whether you're a firm believer in ghosts and the paranormal activity, or an absolute skeptic, we are going to review some of the most bone-chilling cases and some of the most undeniable evidence here tonight on the Paranormal Kind. Ghosts. What exactly are they? According to mainstream media, they are the transparent remains or leftover energy from previously living beings. Well, if you watch the rest of this video completely through, you'll soon discover that the world of ghosts and paranormal activity is far more bizarre and stranger than one's mind could ever comprehend.
About 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm woken up with a start when my legs actually are coming off the bed, like somebody's lifting my legs off the bed. Put the light on, I'm sitting there thinking, what on earth was that all about? And then outside the room I hear footsteps, clearly light female footsteps, like some sort of heels on a hard floor. I get out of bed and I open the door and I look in the corridor, and there was some very dull lighting on for the middle of the night. And of course there's nobody there.
And it's a standing area, so audience can pay to stand up there and watch a show. It got to the end of the show, so we decided we'd both start at one end and we'd start walking and usher in any public that were left out to say that we were closing. I came across the toilets, and as I was coming around I saw someone go into the toilet. They were wearing a long dress, that's that I can remember the kind of, so I was like, oh, they're female, just assumed they were. So I kind of sped up my walk and walked after them and opened the door. I was like, sorry, you can't. And that person went into the females. And I was like, okay, I need to go and tell them that they need to leave. So I walked into the females. The cubicles were shut. So I was like, well, there must be one of them. I was like, really sorry, but we are closing. No response. I was like, I don't know why, but I just felt really, really weird. And so I looked under the cubicles, and there was no one in the first one. There was 3, and in none of them cubicles was there anyone. And I can swear to you that I saw someone go in that toilet, and they disappeared.
Back in 2007, my granddad passed away, and I was very, very, very sad. I was staying at my mum's house by myself, and one particular night I was having a very bad night about the whole thing. I decided to put it out there. I wasn't scared. I said, Granddad or Nana, if you're there, I want to see you. I want to see you. I'm not scared, I'm ready, just please let me know that you're there. Nothing happened, and I fell asleep. Something woke me up. It was the noise of the door going, and I heard it, and I was like, okay. You get that feeling, you know when someone else is in the room, there's that feeling that you can feel the energy, and the bed just went, like someone was sitting on it, and I sank, and I got so scared, and I just went, Nana, if that's you, I'm really scared. I just said it out loud, and immediately the bed just came back to normal, and I heard this really loud crash downstairs. I used to have these big DVD stands that were put into the wall. It sounded like they fell over, and I was too afraid to go downstairs to check it out. As I eventually get to sleep, the morning comes, I go downstairs, and everything was fine. Nothing had fallen over. Everything was in its place.
Whatever you may consider them to be, whether ghosts, specters, apparitions, or spirits, there are sightings in nearly every nook and cranny of our world. From college campuses to vacant towns. From old abandoned churches to dark, gloomy grave sites. From lower, unknown locations in the east to higher, upscale, well-known locations in the west. Neither location nor status provides safety from ghostly encounters.
I have to tell you, I am puzzled, because every once in a while our little dog Rex will start down that long hall toward that room, just glaring as if he's seeing something and barking, and he stops in front of Lincoln's door, the bedroom door. I just couldn't understand it. So I went down and I opened the door and I stepped in and I turned around for him to come on, and he stood there still barking and growling, and then started backing away and would not go in the room.
One of the most interesting things about this phenomena is that it's not culturally dependent. For example, leprechauns are seen only in Ireland, gargoyles in Eastern Europe, but haunting or ghost phenomena has been reported in all cultures since the beginning of time.
With so many cases being reported, our team felt it appropriate to do further research and try to determine if such cases can be scientifically proven to be real or just mere myths or folklore. During our investigations, we come across many cases which have turned out to be hoaxes, but there was a small fraction of the observed cases that boggles the mind and have almost no logical explanation. Is it possible that the spirit or the lost souls of those that have passed are trying to contact the living?
There's a lot of fraud in this, there's a lot of imagination, there's a lot of wishful thinking. But when you strip that all out, there's about 20% hardcore stuff that is exceedingly difficult to explain.
Included in that 20% is a case of a young Canadian man who recently moved into his late grandmother's house. He awakens to strange, loud noises in the middle of the night and turns on his camera, then suddenly finds himself in the middle of an encounter of the paranormal kind.
Okay, it's like midnight right now. I was sleeping on my couch and I heard a loud bang. I've heard it before, but I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was the dogs on the deck or something. There it is. It's my cupboards. Let's see what happens. This is scary. Oh, holy shit. Holy shit.
The guy stands in shock, yet continues to record video as his kitchen cupboards open and close violently by an unseen force.
Oh! Holy shit. What the fuck? Okay. I'm cool. Gonna get up and... Ooh, I'm just shaking.
He begins to
Look at my
shake in
goosebumps.
fright as he walks closer to the source.
It's my grandma's old house too. It's old. I don't remember that light being on. Let's see what this looks like. That's just creepy. I have no idea. Like, there's nobody in my house right now. Like, nobody. I can hear something in that room.
He starts to hear noises in the next room, decides to investigate, and is frightened even more.
Whoa, okay. Look at those goosebumps. I'm gonna go look. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Ooh, it's fucking scary. There's like nobody in here. I'm freaking out, man. This is scary. It's so weird. Like I could hear it.
The paranormal activity continues and frightens the man out of the house.
I'm going outside.
Is it a hoax? Or is it possible that this man was able to capture real, genuine paranormal activity on video? You decide. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. Up next, EVP and the reception of messages from beyond.
Please try to speak. Please try to give us a message. Please tell me who is here. Please try to give us your name. The time is 11:50 a.m. Sarah Estep recording.
The founder of the American Association of Electronic Voice Phenomenon, Sarah Estep, is a sort of technical psychic medium, a psychic who doesn't contact the deceased by using ESP or any supernatural techniques. Instead, she uses a more modern approach by recording unknown voices on audio devices.
The microphones are yours. Who is with me? I'm recording voices from other dimensions. I started a little over 15 years ago. As a psychical investigator, I was very skeptical about the phenomena, but I decided to try it and see if I could get voices, and I did after 7 days. I started picking up voices on my own, and I have continued ever since.
Today's EVP researchers use modern digital recorders with advanced features that help eliminate any background noise or interference from other electronic communication devices. Using this technique, researchers have been able to document what seems to be the ghostly message of spirits on their audio devices. Normally, in an attempt to communicate, the researcher would ask a question and wait a moment for a response and repeat the process. Occasionally, when playing back the audio with amplification, the researchers may find voices silently responding. These spiritual voices can usually be heard when recording in haunted locations. There are thousands of locations across the globe that have been reported to have had paranormal activity. Cemeteries are known as some of the most haunted places of all, with many people suffering from a horribly brutal death. It is believed that their souls are still here lurking in the darkness. A visit to the Westminster Church in Baltimore by EVP specialist Sarah Estep left us with this message from beyond the grave.
I was here a few years ago, and I picked up the message. We leave the soul right down here.
I'd love to hear from you. And a message for us.
Well, there's a skull right down. Well, there's a skull right down.
Scientists have acknowledged the possibility of EVP just being a complete hoax or simply the result of electronic interference. Although both options are very much possible, there's only one thing about EVP that seems to boggle the mind, and that's how a researcher can ask a question and the recorder receives an answer.
Here in the basement of the lighthouse, I recorded the clear voice of a young boy that said, I was seeing the war. Were you a soldier here?
I will see the war. I will see the war.
Today's paranormal researchers, or more frequently called ghost hunters, usually use EVP to help them detect or contact the ghostly remains of ones who are deceased. These entities are supposedly the residents of a bizarre realm that exists between the living and the dead. Is it possible that Sarah Estep and other EVP researchers have tapped into that realm and made real contact with the departed? Or is it all just our minds playing tricks on us? You decide. Tell us your opinion on ghosts and EVP in the comment section. True believer or absolute skeptic. Either way, people continue to experience and document their paranormal encounters. Once you've had an experience with the unknown, it's hard to not become a believer. The main goal of most paranormal investigators is to provide evidence that either proves or disproves the existence of ghosts and life after death. If EVP researchers really are picking up messages from beyond the grave, then the question is, why are they trying to contact us? Researchers continue to do studies in this field in hopes of one day providing answers to those questions. But then, the real question is, are we prepared for real direct answers? I'm Jim, and maybe next time you'll be more prepared for your next encounter with the paranormal kind.